Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. I don't know. I think it's in the other room.
It's nice when you have it. Radhe Radhe.
Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagwan Guruvarga ki jai, Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radharman Ju ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. So, we will begin on page 1 of this book, Shidori Giti Gucha, with Mangalacharan, starting with Vandeham, V-A-N-D-E, apostrophe, H-A-M.
Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audaya Madhurya Gunashcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami Tridannilam Bhakta Shiromanincha Shri Krishna Pada Jivitaika Hindi Chaitanya Leela Vrita Sarasa Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Iti Namine Atimatya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jivanukhe Sadartaya Shrinam Premadayine Namaho Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dvaitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatadine Rupanugam Virudhapa Siddhanta Bhantaharine O Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Viprambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhume Swam Nirnishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandamate Gati Matsarvasvapadam Vaja Radha Madana Mohano Divyakrindāranya Kalpadrumadam Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasho Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Devo Preshthani Sevyamano Smarami Shri Mandra Sarasarambhi Vanshimata Tatastitaha Karshan Menu Svanaya Gopi Gopinatha Shri Estunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहातापग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मसपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं हरे राम हरेर्नामेव केवलं कलो नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
गुरुदेव कृपा करके
Page 360.
led by His Grace Kishori Mohan Prabhu.
गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके
Vaishnavis. Jivapavana Prabhu, I'm just wondering, you're saying that you got cut off for a bit. I'm wondering if it's from our internet connection or yours. If you could just let us know. Our connection is working fine today.
Jai. Thank you.
Look it, you've got your own.
But I don't want to be on it constantly because...
Only for the questions, it's better. We're here.
We are here. Vrindavan Vasi Jata Vaishnava. It's the first bhajan in the Vaishnava section, page 36. Beautiful glorification of Vaishnavas by Sri Devakinandana Das. 36. Starting with Vrindavan. V-R-N-D-A-V-A-N-A.
Vrindavana Vasi Jato. Just wait 1 minute so they
Vrindavano Vasi Jato Vaishnavera Vrindavano Vasi Jato Pratame Vandana
Page 67, starting with Jaya, Jaya, Nanda, Nanda, Jaya Nanda, Nanda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna
we are. Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Are we there? This fan will operate fine on that battery. It's not so much. Hare Krishna, are we there? Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Maybe you should. You want to flip it? We had to switch from Radha back to Kishori. Sorry we weren't able to finish the bhajan with you. Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaur Hari ki
Jai.
jai. What? It's working.
Okay, well, we can't tell, so just so you know.
Okay. I'll just check on my... Oh, because you guys are running on...
No, we don't have
Radha one.
internet.
Alright. Technical difficulties. Please forgive us. 1 second. Settings. Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna. It appears to be working. Thank you. Okay. What's the time?
I'm going to miss the next question.
Ke jabi re bhai bhava sindhu par. Well, that's page 73, sorry. Ke jabi, re bhai. K-E space, jabi, J-A-B-I, 73.
Bhava Oh
Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Is it still working?
From what we can see.
Hari He Doyal Mor Jai Radhanath, page 145. Starting with Hari He, H-A-R-I-H-E. We already did that tune, so I'm thinking of another tune.
Easier is better, just so you know. Easier is better.
Yes.
No, no.
Hari He Doyalo Jai Radhanath, Hari He Doyalo
Radha bhajane jati mati nahi bhela. Page 110.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gora Hare 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 Nitai Gora Hare 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 Jai Gurudev
Storm is coming, batten down the hatches. Close your windows. Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitarang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times into the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam into the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada, to our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of you who are present today, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranams.
So we're continuing with the reading, the in-depth study of Going Beyond Vaikuntha, which is our Srila Gurudev's commentary, full of bhav, on Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Sri Sanatan Goswami. So before entering into this book, with the words of Raghunath Das Goswami, we will pray to Sanatan Goswami. Vairaga Juga Bhaktira Samprayatner Apayanan Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Gudirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Praying in the dust of the lotus feet of our Gurudev the commentator and Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, that may even a particle of their moods which is present within these pages manifest within our hearts. Whenever I say that, I remember what Shyamarani Didi would tell, what Gurudev said, that we should not just open a book. We should understand that this book is the form or manifestation of the heart of any Vaishnava. So instead of just thinking it's a book like any other book, we should pray to it. You are not a book. You are none different from Sri Sanatan Goswami. You are none different from the heart of my Gurudev. Please be merciful to me and allow me to even understand one drop of what is present within your heart. So you are not a book. That's the difference between transcendental subject matters and mundane subject matters. Mundane subject matters, maybe they're just a book. You can just step over them, you can throw them. But any transcendental subject matter, you put it to your head, you worship it, you honor it, you never step over it or step on it. You treat it with respect as you would Thakurji. So yesterday I did not put my bookmark back in the proper place. We're somewhere in chapter 3, the superiority of Nam Sankirtan. Hold on. Okay. So yesterday we were reading from Srila Gurudev, and he was asking a question. Will our Nam Sankirtan, in other words, our chanting of the holy name with a dirty heart, because we're not chanting the pure name, how will we know that we have actually chanted the pure name? Or even Namabhas. Namabhas means a shadow or a reflection of the pure name. The pure name is Shuddhanam, Abhinatva Nama Namino, non-different from Krishna himself. And Nam Aparad means we still have so many anarthas in our heart. Desire for kanaka, material wealth, kamani, material sense gratification, and pratishta, name, fame, position, adoration, all of these things, on top of so many other material desires. And anarthas, aparads, so many problems. There are 10 offenses against the holy name of the Lord, which we can go into at another time. So, our Gurudev is asking, will our sadhana be complete with only Nam Sankirtan? And not also the Diksha mantras, Gopal mantra, Kam Gayatri, etc. And Gurudev is saying no. Why? Because by Nam Sankirtan alone, because we are not chanting Shuddhanam, we won't be able to attain that. That's why we take shelter of the Vaishnavas. Yesterday I ended with quoting Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur in the bhajan, Ohe Vaishnava Thakur Doyar Sagar Edase Kuruna Kori. There he says, Ekakiya Mar Nahi Paibal Harinam Sankirtane. On my own I have no strength, no power. For what? For Hare Krishna, for Harinam. Because my heart is plagued with so many anarthas. So Krishna is reciprocating with me according to my desires. Ye yata mam prapadyante tangstataiva bhajamyaham. As you approach me, I reciprocate with you accordingly. So even though we're chanting Hare Krishna for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, me, 40, yes, I'm getting old, 47 I think, 47 years, still my heart is plagued with anarthas. Why is that possible? How is that possible? Because I'm not chanting the pure name of Krishna. I'm still chanting even Nam Aparad. This means I'm resistant to accept the mercy which is coming. We can all check our own pulses and see. Do we still have attraction to the material energy? Do we still like to gossip about others? Do we still like to find faults or criticize? Do we still want to enjoy? When food is being made, and I'm calling it food, because we're not looking at it as this is the mercy of the Lord. Do I want to enjoy that? Do I want to enjoy the comforts of this world? Am I depending completely on Krishna, or am I depending on my own potency and power? So we can question and place ourselves according to the definitions that our Guru Varga and Shastras have given us. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra have given us so many definitions and parameters by which we can measure where we are. And we can know, yes, I'm in need of help. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, on my own I have no power, no strength. Then he prays to the Vaishnava, Tumi kripa kori, please give me your mercy. Shraddha bindu diya, give me just a drop, bindu, of faith. This is where things get a little bit complicated, because the English definition of faith generally refers to belief. But faith in spiritual circles, like Raghava Pandit Prabhu posted yesterday in the comments, beautiful thing from Sri Ishopanishad, from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, I think it was verse 9, in Sri Ishopanishad, talking about seeing through the eyes of Scripture, seeing through the eyes of the pure devotee, understanding from their moods and their conceptions, not from our own. I remember once someone asked Gurudev a question, and they were saying, my understanding. And Gurudev said, don't take your own understanding. You should take the understanding of Gurudev and Guru Parampara. Don't try to ascertain or understand the infinite by your own potency. We should try to understand it through that medium. So when we speak about faith, what does Shastra say? Because he's saying Shraddha Bindudiya. So what is Shraddha? According to Shastra, according to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kohe Sudrida Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarvakarma Krita Hoy. Shraddha Shabde. This word Shraddha, the Shabda, the sound, Shraddha, Vishwas Kohe. Those who know and see and understand, they tell the definition of this Shraddha. Shudridha Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarvakarma Krita Hoy. What does it mean? It means to have the firm resolution, the firm conviction that simply by engaging in the process of bhakti, Krishna Bhakti Koile, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy, all other obligations, all other requirements, all other necessities, all debts, everything is automatically taken care of. As Srila Gurudeva Maharaj would say. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj would say, nothing to do, Baba, nothing to do. It's done. I've already told before about how when he took sannyas, after he took sannyas, government agents came to him and they said, if you just sign this paper, all of your pension can go to your wife and family. He said, what wife, what family? I have taken sannyas. I cannot sign that paper. Because traditionally, when one would take sannyas or accept sannyas, it means I am dead to the world. I belong exclusively to God and God's service. This is really the meaning of sannyas. And they actually used to give a death certificate for that person. Means once you go, there's no turning back. These days, sannyas is made a little bit different. These days, sannyas can mean, holding up your grandchildren and showing them to the world on Facebook, hanging out with your family members. Sannyas can be so many different things, but this is not. Prabhu showed the proper etiquette of real sannyas. So, these days, so many of the rules of Vaishnavism have been relaxed. And it actually starts to become dangerous because it can become relaxed so much that in the name of Vaishnavism, laziness, complacency, concoction, speculation, in other words, all kinds of apasampradayic ideas and sahajya ideas, apasiddhantic ideas will start to manifest. And the more it is accepted, the more everything is watered down. The more everything is watered down, the more difficult it is to find the purity. But our Srila Gurudev, what was his motto? Pure bhakti. Pure bhakti. He kept pushing for pure bhakti. So if we want to follow him, and we want to follow our Guru Varga, our Guru Parampara, they were all preaching pure bhakti. They didn't want to water it down. They wanted to keep it. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he explained that we should not change our teachings to accommodate the public. Rather, they should come to understand and accept the teachings of Krishna Bhakti. If one has superior knowledge, why should they compromise for the inferior thing? Srila Prabhupada would say. So they're very, very powerful, very strong. They don't want to water down the pure thing. It is transcendental divine knowledge. Why bring it down to the lowest common denominator? So Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Srila Gurudeva Maharaj, he was like, I cannot sign that paper. I will not sign it. And we see that afterwards, subsequent to that, he didn't sign it. If he would have signed it, maybe a few hundred or a couple thousand rupees a month would have gone to his previous family. But he didn't sign it. Krishna says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhyuktaram yogakshemam vahamyaham. That I carry what they lack, I preserve what they have. For one who is completely, exclusively surrendered unto me. So he showed this in his own life. Complete surrender to Guru, Gauranga, Radha and Krishna. Not looking back, no attachment. Srila Gurudev said, you leave everything as if you have gone to the toilet. like passing stool. You don't want to hang out with that thing, you leave it behind. But we see what happened. All of that previous obligation, because he's engaged exclusively in Krishna Bhakti, sarva karma krita hoy. Whatever would have been considered his obligation, Krishna personally took care of it. His, from the previous ashram, daughter became married to a very wealthy person. That wealthy person was crorepati in terms of millionaire, billionaire in rupees, and completely maintained that family in a much, much more luxurious, lavish way than Srila Gurudev Maharaj ever did. Krishna can take care of everything. That devotee does not have to worry. This is the definition of Shraddha. Shraddha does not mean faith or belief. Shraddha means the firm conviction that if I endeavor wholeheartedly in the process of bhakti, surrendering myself at the lotus feet of Guru, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna, then there is nothing else I need to worry about. Everything is automatically taken care of. You don't have to worry for your income. You don't have to worry where your food will come from. You don't have to worry about maintaining your life. Krishna will take care of everything. We have seen this in the history of Brihad the hunter. Brihad was a hunter who actually liked to half-kill. That's what it is called, half-kill. To maim animals. And he enjoyed watching them slowly suffer and flutter to their death. This was his relishment. So Narada Muni one time came into that forest where Brihad the hunter was enjoying his pastimes, his fun. When Narada Muni came in, Brihad became upset. Brihad became upset. What are you doing? All the animals that I wanted to shoot, they've run away, they've fled. You're stopping my enjoyment. And even he wanted to attack Narada Muni. But that moment Narada Muni said, stop. Just like that. And he stopped. Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj asked the question, why did he stop? He said there must have been some sukriti, some impression from any previous lifetime that made him honor the word of the sadhu. He stopped like this. 1 second, I just swallowed air. Then Narada Muni told him, you should stop doing this. He said, but this is how I survive. I'm a hunter. How will I be able to maintain my life? Narada Muni said, you will have to suffer in hell. You will have to take birth like this. Narada Muni began to preach to him, but he couldn't hear it because his nature was so simple. So then Narada Muni gave him a vision of what would happen as a result of all of the terrible, heinous activities, the sinful activities he was performing. When he witnessed that, he became deathly afraid. At that time, he begged Narada Muni for mercy. Please help me, help me, help me. Not wanting to end up in that situation. Basically, he was going to line up for millions of lifetimes and suffer in equal or even greater ways. For example, according to Shastra, it doesn't seem fair, but this is the rule of the universe. If anyone takes part in the killing or eating of a cow, that includes the selling, the packaging, the butchering, or anything, then each individual person involved in that will have to suffer for every hair that is on the body of that cow. That's just the rule. It doesn't seem fair, but that's what it is. So Mrigadi was witnessing by Narada Muni's mercy what would become. And he became completely afraid and took shelter at the lotus feet of Narada Muni. What should I do? What should I do? Narada Muni told him, break your bow. And he was like, but how will I survive? He said, you should sit in one place and take shelter of Harinam. Mrigadi was like, but how will I maintain? How will I eat? He said, Krishna will take care of everything. Krishna will arrange everything. So Mrigadi followed the instruction of his guru, Narada Muni. He submitted to him and he followed his instruction. As a result, very soon, so many heard, my God, that very simple hunter has given up hunting and creating so much pain for these animals, and he's taken the life of bhakti, taking shelter of Harinam, and so many went just to see him. First is curiosity, but then seeing, wow, what an amazing change. Naturally and spontaneously, they began bringing things to him. So many offerings. Everything was maintained simply by Krishna Bhakti. Our Gurudev used to challenge us. He would say, you can test it. Just sit in one place, in your room even, and take shelter of Harinam. Take shelter of Harinam. A minimum of 64 rounds every day, and you will see that everything is maintained. And then he said, but you won't do it because you have no faith. So he would challenge us like this. Everything will be maintained. Krishna will arrange it. And he used to tell this katha, where, who was it? I can't remember who. There was one Brahmin who was reading Bhagavatamrita, and there he read that verse, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyaham, where Krishna says, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have, for those who are exclusively surrendered unto me. This Brahmin was so poor, he was thinking, this verse cannot be true. It cannot be true. Impossible. Krishna is not maintaining me, and I'm dedicating my life to him. So actually he was approaching this verse with the mood of karma mishra bhakti. I am doing this so that Krishna will prove the point. So this is not real pure bhakti. It is mixed with desire for fruitive result. Anyhow, it is sometimes, some places it is said that he used a red pen and crossed out the lines of this verse. Then he went out to beg. Just after he went out to beg, one young boy came to his house and knocked on the door. His wife answered the door. This boy told her, I am the servant of your husband. She's like, my husband has a servant? He said, he beat me so bitterly, and sent me to your house with all of these foodstuffs. And he showed her his back. His back had all these whip marks, bloody whip marks on it, red crosses. And she became so astonished. How could my husband be so hard-hearted that he has beat his poor servant boy, just a young boy like this? So she brought him in. She took all of that food stuff. She nurtured that boy. She cooked, she fed him and everything. And then he went on his way. And the husband came back. Where did all this food come from? So his wife told him everything, all details of what happened. And then he realized, oh my God, that was Krishna himself. By my crossing out his words, this red lines like this was like whipping him. And then he had those whip marks on his back from this person's pen. But he provided everything. So our Gurudev said the reason we're not really making an honest endeavor is because we don't have this faith. This shraddha, or this faith, comes in the association of devotees. Previously I mentioned it is known as paramartik shraddha. Means it is descending. It is the first particle of prem. The first particle of prem. It's like the seed of prem. Prem is the fully blossomed creeper by which the fruit manifests. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Rupa Goswami, "E Rupe, Brahmanda Brahmite kon bhagavana jeev Guru Krishna prasade pai bhakti lata beach." So he's telling him that by the mercy of Krishna one attains Sri Guru. Guru gives us or awakens within us this seed of prem. Gradually through Shravan and Kirtan, hearing and chanting, Shravana Kirtana Jale. This is like water which nourishes this seed. And it continues to grow all the way, taking support as it needs, finally reaching the lotus feet of Krishna and binding itself to the lotus feet of Krishna, wherein it produces the fruit of prem. But it has to start somewhere. It starts with Shraddha, this faith. Shraddha tvanyopaya vajjam bhaktyun mukhi chitta vritti vishesha. It is the intrinsic nature or characteristic of bhakti, satya sharanapati lakshana. And its symptoms are manifest as sharanagati. Sharanagati, I spoke before, generally we call it surrender, but it's not the same as material surrender. It is devotional surrender, which means due to spontaneous attraction which is awakened in the heart, we want to offer our love, we want to offer our heart, our mind, our body, soul, everything to the object of our love and affection. This is sharanagati. We call it surrender, but it is not surrender like I give up. It is surrender meaning I would gladly give my life in your service. And that is manifested, or the verse defining this sharanagati, which is the symptoms of faith, devotional faith, is symptomized by sharanagati, which is the doorway to bhakti. The verse given is anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishyati vishvaso, goptritve varanam tata, atmanikshepa karpanye. Anukulyasya sankalpa means I'm making a firm resolution, like a vow, sankalpa, that I will only accept into my life those activities, those things, those practices which are favorable for the development of my love and devotion for Krishna. Pratikulyasya varjanam is the natural side effect of the first one. Pratikulyasya varjanam means I will make a firm resolution, vow, sankalpa, to give up or reject everything that is unfavorable for the development of my love and devotion, my bhakti for Krishna. It makes sense, right? If you make a firm vow to accept only whatever is favorable, then you must also reject what is unfavorable. So it's almost redundant, but still it's necessary just to get it through. Rakshishyati vishvasho. Krishna is my only protector. Prahlad Maharaj had this firm conviction. Goptritve varanam tata. And Krishna is my only maintainer. Atmanikshep. Atmanikshep means completely submitting myself, that I am yours. You can do what you like with me. I am no longer keeping any selfish, separate self-interest. I am giving my independence up, and I am giving myself to you. Like Arjuna told Krishna, I am now a soul completely surrendered to you. Or like our Gurudev, when he met his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, how he said, all of the attachment, all of the affection that I had to my family, my wife, my children, my father, my mother, my brothers and sisters, my village, my position, all of that, I have now collected in one point, and I'm offering it exclusively at your lotus feet. This is Atmanikshep. Means I am yours, you can do as you like with me. This is Atmanikshep. And naturally, when one is in that position, what is mentioned lastly in this 6 symptoms of Sharanagati? Karpanye. Karpanye means deep humility. Means feeling oneself extremely insignificant and requiring help. Means helpless on my own. So completely dependent upon mercy. Tomara karuna sar. Your mercy is everything to me. On my own, I don't have any strength. Jogyata vichare kichunahipai. I don't have any good intelligence. I don't know what's right or what's wrong. I have not been able to rescue myself from this material world for trillions and trillions and trillions of lifetimes. And I have experienced burning suffering since forever. And still I don't know how to get out on my own. I require help from outside of myself. So, submittance with a mood of helplessness, that I am depending on you. I am yours, and I trust you. Karpanye, humility. These are the symptoms of surrender, and they are the intrinsic symptoms of paramartik shraddha, or real faith. A real faith is necessary in order to progress on the path of bhakti. Shraddha, the very first aspect or particle of praying. From that, it begins to grow. It begins to grow to perfection. So that same Shraddha, later on, is known as Prem. So Shraddha, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav. That same beginning seedling of transcendental faith is so essential. And that is awakened in the association of the pure devotees of the Lord. That faith is awakened in the association of the pure devotees of the Lord. By their harikatha and by their association, we will naturally develop that kind of faith. I don't know if I closed my point or if I brought it full around. So I just want to reiterate what Srila Gurudev spoke about Nam Sankirtan. I was speaking about Nam Sankirtan, why we cannot do it on our own, because we haven't really attained Shraddha. So that means most of us, at least this one, is still in the state of Nam Aparad. It means material desires are there. It's not Shuddha Nam, it's not even Namabhas. That's why we're bound in this material world. So then we require help from outside ourselves. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying, please be merciful to me, O Vaishnava Thakur. I can't even connect to Harinam Prabhu. Only the sound is coming out, but there's no potency. So Shraddha Bindudiya. Give me just one drop of faith. I just said, only the sound is coming out, but not the real thing. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Maharaj speaks about this. Our Gaudiya Guru Varga speaks about this subject. The sound coming. 2 examples have been given. Like a gun. You can have a gun, but if it doesn't have a bullet with lead in it, it's just gunpowder, it'll make the loud sound, but there will be no potency. So that's what they use on movie sets, right? They make the sound, you see the flash of light, the kickback and everything, but there's no bullet, there's no potency, there's no effect. Real potent effect. In the same way, Shuddhanam or even Namabhas has this effect, but without that, then it might just be a loud sound. The other example given is a lady who's going to the hospital, who's not pregnant, but she's making all of the sounds of having a baby. So she's breathing and screaming and making the sounds of having the baby, but she's not pregnant. Then what will be the result? Well, she's not going to have a baby. So we need to become, in essence, pregnant with Krishna. We need to become pregnant with Krishna. Means Krishna needs to take over our heart. And how? By hearing about Krishna, His names, forms, qualities, and pastimes from those whose hearts are completely saturated with Krishna. Then this will, in essence, awaken Krishna within our hearts. So, Srila Gurudev is saying, suppose we are cutting grass and someone says to us, please use a golden blade to cut the grass. Will we use a golden blade to cut the grass? No. An iron blade will be more than sufficient, will be more effective, he says. Similarly, because we are in such a conditioned state, chanting the Gopal mantra and Kama Gayatri is also necessary. So he's saying that only our Nam Aparad, our weak state of chanting Harinam, is not sufficient on its own to bring us to perfection. Therefore, Sri Guru, all of the Gurus in our line, they give us not only first initiation, but second initiation, otherwise known as Harinam and Diksha. And the Diksha mantras, especially mentioned here, Gopal mantra and Kama Gayatri, they help to nourish our relationship with Krishna, the awakening of that relationship, and they nourish the, I want to use the maturation of our chanting of Harinam Sankirtan, to perfection. From our aparad state to namabhas state to shuddhanam state. At that point, then those mantras are not physically necessary anymore. Well, as a mantra, they have manifested as our Ishtadev. So, Gurudev is saying an iron blade will be more effective to cut the grass. Similarly, because we are in such a conditioned state, chanting the Gopal mantra and Kama Gayatri is also necessary. At different stages, different things are necessary, but we shall understand Nam Sankirtan to be the best thing in sadhan and in perfection. So here Srila Gurudev is comparing, it seems, Nam Sankirtan to the iron blade. That so many other ideas may be there, but the iron blade is the most efficient. It is the most effective means by which to cut the grass. So in this case, he's saying that Gopal Mantra and Kam Gayatri are also necessary, but we should understand Nam Sankirtan to be the best thing in sadhana and in perfection. The Gopal Mantra is effective only in sadhana, but not in the stage of perfection. So Gurudev is really clarifying it here, that once we have attained our Vastu Siddhi, our eternal form and relationship with Krishna, serving in Nitya Lila, we're not going to be 3 times a day sitting down and chanting our mantras, at least not in Krishna's Lila. It may very well be that we will be doing that in Gaura Lila. Why? Because we know that when Nimai Pandit was teaching his classes to his students, if they would come to his classes without tilak, you know immediately, you have not done your proper obligatory morning sadhana. You have not bathed properly. You may not even have fresh clothes on, because before chanting your mantras, you have to bathe, put on fresh clothes, put on tilak, all body tilak, then sit and chant your mantras. So Nimai Pandit would say, go and do all of that properly, then return. So chanting one's mantras in Gaura Lila, because it is like a sadhana lila as well. I don't know for sure, I'm just remembering this pastime, how Nimai Pandit would send them home. And our Gurudev has explained quite emphatically that the Navadvip pastimes are the Nitya Lila, a Prakat Nitya Lila, in transcendental Svetadvip pastimes of Shachinandan Gaurahari. But not in Radha Krishna Lila. You're not going to stop playing in the middle of the day, sit down, or take a bath, put on your tilak and face any particular direction and chant your mantras. It's not going to be like that. The Gopal Mantra is effective only in sadhana, but not in the stage of perfection. The perfected soul will not chant it, because its work has been completed. The perfected soul will not chant it because its work has been completed. We must understand this point well. Nam Sankirtan is necessary in the conditioned state, but along with it we must chant the Gopal Mantra, the mantra of Mahaprabhu, which is known as Gaura Gayatri, and all other mantras that our spiritual master has given us. The efficacy of these mantras is that they make sambandha gyan arise. That means knowledge of our relationship with these personalities. Sambandha means relationship, gyan means knowledge. So by these mantras we will realize or awaken our relationship with these divine transcendental personalities. Shri Guru, Sachinandan Gaurahari, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our particular Ishtadev in transcendental Vrindavan, in whatever relationship we are in, whether in Sakya Bhav, Vatsalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, and within Madhurya Bhav, either Gopi Bhav or Manjari Bhav, whatever relationship we have with Krishna, that will awaken by the power of Gopal Mantra. And then Kam Gayatri is literally a prayer to love itself. Love itself. We will develop sambandha, relationship. But once we have attained our Vastu Siddhi, perfection, then the efficacy of these mantras These mantras are no longer necessary to vibrate as a mantra. They have manifested their fruit. So the efficacy of these mantras is that they make sambandha gyan arise. And the attachment to sense enjoyment fade away. I was just seeing your comment, Jiva Pavan Prabhu. I don't even know how to answer that. It may be that way. So they make sambandha gyan arise and the attachment to sense enjoyment fade away. Anyone who follows this method sincerely for 1 year or even 6 months will certainly see what its result is. Did you hear that? Anyone who follows this process, this method, sincerely for 1 year or even 6 months will certainly see its result. This is when we have to start questioning ourselves. Have we actually, truly, sincerely endeavored to follow it honestly, sincerely, for 6 months, for even 1 year or even 6 months? Have we? Gurudeva is saying that we will see the result. If the desired result doesn't come, then there must be some problem. We should understand that the problem is not with the process, the problem is not with the Ishtadev, the problem will be with our adherence or our honesty or our sincerity. Perhaps the seed, the mantra, was not very potent because the giver was not pure. So there's also that possibility. If we accept initiation from someone who has not realized, who has not awakened their relationship with the Ishtadev of the mantra, it means they're also bound in this material world. Then what are they giving? Let me give you a really simple example. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja gave me so many mantras. Diksha mantras. So, he has realized them. I haven't yet realized them. So if I subsequently go and start giving these mantras to people, I haven't realized it. What can I give to someone else in terms of that mantra which is unrealized? Gurudev would always say you can only give someone else what you yourself have. If I only have $5, what can I give another? Only as much as I have, $5. If I have 100, I can only give 100. Sri Guru is tapped into the supreme reservoir of transcendental wealth, transcendental knowledge. Because of this, they can tap unlimited divine knowledge and unlimited wealth. But what do I possess within me? So if someone who has not realized the swarup of the mantra and has not realized their relationship with the mantra, has not realized Krishna, if they're giving you Harinam or Diksha mantras, it's missing something. Some Shakti will be there, Gurudev said, with Harinam and Harikatha because you are under guidance. But with the Diksha mantras, then it becomes a repetition of mantra but not with potency. The Gurudev has explained all of these points many times over the years. So therefore Srila Prabhupada said, if one is not on the highest level, then you cannot make proper progress under their insufficient guidance. I believe that's in the purport to his Nectar of Instruction, verse 5. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. One cannot make proper progress under their insufficient guidance, therefore one should be careful to accept only an Uttam Adhikari as their Guru. He speaks about this. Maybe Jiva Pavan Prabhu, you can share that. Thank you. Perhaps the seed, the mantra, was not very potent because the giver was not pure. Or perhaps we are not chanting from the heart, or we are cheating in some way. More than likely, we are cheating in some way. Why? Because our Guru Varga have explained that if we are not sincere in heart, then Krishna may reciprocate accordingly. And instead of giving us a teacher, we might receive a cheater. Because of our insincerity, we have called something other than Sri Guru into our lives. If we're sincere and we're crying out, then Sri Guru will manifest. The form of Krishna's pure, direct mercy will manifest in our lives. If we have any ulterior motive, if we have desire or we want to enjoy or this or that, we might call something else into our life. So, even if the giver is not pure, it might be because we ourselves have this cheating tendency and we have called something which is not real into our lives. In that case, and especially if we feel we've been cheated and that person shows themselves to be a cheater to the point where we lose complete faith, then we must take shelter of the process of bhakti and cry out from the core of our heart to Krishna for mercy, understanding that I have brought this upon myself due to my cheating nature, begging Krishna from the core of our hearts, please be merciful to me. I've met devotees who have accepted 4 or 5 different gurus in their life, and finally they were so done, so frustrated, so fried, so finished, literally rock bottom finished, that they were crying literally for weeks on end to Krishna, begging him for mercy. Please, I cannot handle this anymore. I cannot do it. Please, Krishna, be merciful. Send me someone like Prabhupada. Like this. Please send me your own man, as Srila Govinda Maharaj would say. Our part of the bargain is our crying and our sincerity, our tears. And the rest is up to Krishna. But we must somehow find that place of sincerity deep inside and cry for mercy. So perhaps the seed of the mantra, the mantra was not potent because the giver was not pure, or perhaps we are not chanting from the heart, or we are cheating in some way. If we're not chanting from the heart, this could also be due to the cheating, but also this is dorbalya, weakness of the heart manifesting. So I might be chanting, and we've seen how so many different kinds of chanting are there. Some are sitting in front of the television, watching the game, with their hand in their mala. We've all seen it. Some are chanting, scrolling down Facebook. Harinam, Harinam. Oh, cute kitten video. Oh my God, did you see that? We're searching for anything. Oh my God, did you see this coronavirus thing? It's a hoax. Oh my God. They're all lying. They're all cheaters. Oh my God. And they're crazy, going crazy in the US. Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jibber japa, jabber japa. Not chanting with attentiveness. Talking about all sorts of mundane things. Not focusing. Not following the instructions of Gurudeva and Vaisnavas and Shastra. How to approach Harinam Prabhu. And then we get the result. Years later, we've got some kind of weird mix of something which is quasi-spirituality in our life, and we're like, this process doesn't seem to work. Well, of course it doesn't work because we didn't apply it scientifically. And the only person we can really blame is ourselves. Because we can look at Srila Prabhupada, we can look at our Gurudev, we can look at our Param Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, our Guru Varga, how they have dived in exclusively 100% with not 1 ounce of anything else. Complete dedication and faith in Shri Harinam Prabhu. And we can see the results. So Gurudeva is saying, rather, giving it our heart with deep faith and firm determination, we should chant. With deep faith and firm determination, we should chant. And then he quotes a verse from Brihad Bhagavatamrita, 23158.
Krishnasya nana vida kirtaneshu tannama sankirtanameva mukyam tat prema sampajjanane swayamdrak shaktam tata shreshtatamam matam tat. Of the many types of Krishna Kirtan, glorification of His name is primary, because it is capable of bestowing the great wealth of pure love for Him very quickly. It is considered the best. So the holy name of the Lord, especially Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is known as Prem Atma. It means it can awaken the Prem which is present within the Atma for Krishna. So many processes are given in the scriptures for attainment of perfection. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra, taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord, can awaken that transcendental divine love for Krishna. There are many types of Krishna Kirtan, glorification of His qualities, of His form, of His pastimes. But the glorification of His name is the foremost. So here, Gurudeva is saying, glorification of His name is the foremost. That's what Rupa Goswami says. Tunde tannavaniratim vitamate tundavali labdhaye. How much nectar is in the two syllables, Krishna? How much nectar is there in the name? I require millions of ears and millions of tongues to drink the nectar and taste the nectar of the sweetness of Krishna's names. All of His pastimes are present within His names. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. You have invested all of your transcendental potencies within your holy names. Only I myself am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. So if I call out, come over here, who will come? Many people may come. If I just call out, come here, who am I referring to? But if I call out the name of the specific person I want, then at once that person will come. Similarly, there is glorification of Bhagavan's qualities, forms, and pastimes. So there are different kinds of names. One name of God, well, I just said it, is God. God, our Gurudeva would say, means generator, operator, destructor, or destroyer. But it's a general name. Then you can say Parameshwar, supreme controller. Paramatma, supreme soul. Even Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. That's what Jagannath means. Jagannatha. Or Jagannatha, the Lord of the universe. So there's so many general names. But then there are more specific names. And then there are very primary personal names. You can look at it in terms of us also in this world. If you go to work, then what's your position? What's your title? Mr. So-and-so. Right? We have some title. And people relate with us that way. If you're in any position where you have influence over others, they'll just say the boss. The boss said, boom, boom, boom. And everyone understands, okay, there's someone there. But it's general. And then you have more personal. Your friends will call you a certain way. Maybe a nickname they had for you when you were all young. Your brother will call you bro. Your parents will call you depending on their mood toward you. Sometimes if they're angry, right? They'll call you your full name with your last name. I remember Mandali Bhadradas. But they'll call you different. Beta, any sweet name. Depending on the nature of the relationship. And the relationship which is the nearest and dearest to your heart. In that relationship, they won't even call you your name. They'll use some sweet nickname. These days it's babe or honey or something. So many different sweet nicknames. And it's so dear to the heart. It's so touching to the heart. You won't even call the direct name, but that name which actually really moves the heart. So there are primary names for Krishna which actually move his heart because of the depth of his relationship with his loving devotees. So here, Gurudeva is saying, so there is similarly glorification of Bhagavan's qualities, forms and pastimes, but for calling out to him and remembering him, the Nam Sankirtan of Bhagavan is the best. Included within this Nam Sankirtan will be the glorification of his qualities, forms and pastimes. In this way, O Govinda, O Gopinath, O Madan Mohan, our kirtan should be full of his names. We mentioned before, if you just say Giridhari, just that name, it's not just a name. Within that name is the entire Govardhan Leela. If you say Damodar, within that name is the entire Damodar Leela. Not only Yashoda Damodar, but Radha Damodar. Within a single name, all of his pastimes are there. Amala Harinam Amya Vilasa. Within his pure transcendental names, all of his transcendental pastimes are present. So, O Govinda, O Gopinath, O Madan Mohan, our kirtan should be full of his names. And of these names, those which refer to Krishna's relationship with the gopis are the best of all. So we've all heard this prayer. Hey Krishna. Krishna means all-attractive personality. Karuna Sindho means you are an ocean of mercy. That's kind of general. Dina Bandhu, you are the friend of the fallen, of the lowly. Jagatpate, oh, you are the maintainer of the universe. Then it starts getting a little bit more personal. Gopesha, you are the leader of the Gops. Or Gopesh can also mean Gopi. Of the cowherd boys, of the Brajvasis. Gopika Kanta. More personal, but still it's referring to a group. The dear most beloved of all gopis. Now get a little bit more focused. Radha Kanta, dear most beloved of Srimati Radhika. Namostute, I am offering my pranam. But we know this prayer, we say it every single day. And it's also showing a progression. Also Srila Gurudev explained that within Sri Damodarashtakam, Namami Sharam Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. From the beginning he starts Namam Ishvaram. I'm offering my pranam to Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. But then Gurudev explained that Satyavrat Muni over millions of years, as his consciousness was developing, evolving, then he was writing more and more of these verses. And by the very end he realized, unless he takes shelter of Krishna's dear most beloved, he won't be able to attain his desired goal. So finally at the very end he's like, Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya. Namo Radhikaya. He's offering pranam to Srimati Radhika, his dear most beloved. This is how Srila Gurudev explained it. So he's awakening over a long period of time deeper and deeper realizations about the sweetness of Krishna in relationship with his loving devotees. So Srila Gurudev continues. Of the names of Krishna, all the names of Krishna, those which refer to Krishna's relationship with the gopis are the best of all. There are many names like that. So many names of Krishna in relationship with the gopis. Like Gopinath, his relationship with the gopis. We chant this prayer, Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venusvanar Gopi Gopinata Shriyestuna. Who is there? Vangshivat, calling on his flute, attracting Karshan Venu. Why? With his flute, Karshan, attracting all gopis. Karshan Venusvanar Gopi. Who is he? Gopinath. Gopinath. Means he was crying out, without you I cannot maintain my existence. Immediately, as if it was an emergency, millions of gopis stopped doing whatever they were doing and ran in the direction of that flute which had stolen their hearts. As if anyone, our Gurudev would explain, and our Shastras, our Acharyas explain, imagine if someone broke into your home and stole your passport, your money belt, your computers and everything and started running away with them. And your mobile phone. Would you worry about the fact that you had you weren't dressed perfectly appropriately? No, you would run outside chasing after them to get back that valuable thing, those valuable things of yours. So Krishna's flute stole the most valuable thing of those gopis. That was their own heart. And started running back to him. And they went chasing after the thief of their hearts. Srila Gurudev explains this. So, Gopinath. We're speaking about Gopinath. All of the Rasalila pastimes center around that name, Gopinath. And it can mean two different things. Gopinath means he who is the Lord of the gopis. They see that he is the Lord of their hearts. Mat prananatha stusa eva napara. You are my prananath, the Lord of my every life's breath. This mood is there. But also Gopinath means the gopis are the knot of Krishna. Krishna himself is desperate for their association, and they have come to pacify his burning heart. So they have come to cool his burning heart. Therefore he's dependent upon them. In this case, also Gopinath can mean they are the knot. The gopis are his knot. In the same way that Gopishwar, Mahadev, is there. Many think he is the Ishwar of the gopis, but if you know the pastime, then you will see who really is the Ishwar. Or Rameshwar. We've heard this pastime of Ram worshipping Lord Shiva in Rameshwaram. And at that time, everyone was saying about Rameshwar, Mahadev, oh, he is the Ishwar, or the controller, the master of Ram. The demigods then chimed in with an aerial voice from the sky. That's not exactly true. Rameshwar means both are Ishwar. Both are the controllers. Lord Shiva couldn't tolerate this because he always sees himself as the servant of Sri Ram. So he broke out from that Shiva Lingam and he said, you are all wrong. Rameshwar means Ram is my Ishwar. Rameshwar. Therefore, he is known as Rameshwar Mahadev. Okay. So, where is it? Can I go back? Sorry, I think it went back one page. Oh, here. So there are many, Gurudev was saying those names related to the gopis are the best of all. If one desires to very quickly attain the lotus feet of Krishna and attain the prema of Braj, then Nam Sankirtan is the best and most powerful method. This is the conclusion of Sanatan Goswami, because if we chant Nam Sankirtan with great sincerity, then very quickly Krishna Prem will arise. And how often did Srila Gurudev engage us when he was speaking about Braj, in the mood of the Brajvasis, especially the Braj Gopis, how no matter what they are doing, they're always engaged in Nam Sankirtan. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So he said, by this Nam Sankirtan, with great sincerity, very quickly, Krishna Prema will arise. Then he quotes this verse from Brihad Bhagavatamrita 2.3.1.6.4. Nama Sankirtanam Proktam Krishnasya Prema Sampadi Balishtam Sadhanam Shreshtam Paramakarsha Mantravat. It is said that Nam Sankirtan is the best and most powerful method for attaining the treasure of Krishna Prem, because, like the most supremely magnetic mantra, it pulls Krishna towards a sadhaka. So there's something interesting in this. That verse right there is saying something quite interesting. The name Krishna literally means all attractive, supremely attractive. Even attracting everything to reverse its nature. That name Krishna is so sweet and so attractive. Krishna reverses everything's nature. How attractive is Krishna? And yet, when the sadhak is chanting the names of the Lord, the names of Krishna, that chanting is so attractive to Krishna that he himself is forcibly attracted. Does that make sense? It pulls Sri Krishna toward a sadhak, like the most supremely magnetic mantra. How powerful are the names of the Lord? Krishna himself is pulled toward that person who is chanting his names. He is attracted by his own names to that extent. How powerful, how attractive are the names of Krishna. So now it is time to end. Shri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanad Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Shri Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Gaur. So we will continue from this point tomorrow. Although tomorrow is a holy day for us. I believe it is Ganga, the appearance of Ganga Devi, Baladevi Debushan. There's so many important subjects to discuss tomorrow. Anyhow, it's all very exciting. So, going beyond Vaikuntha ki jai. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, 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 Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Shri Gaura Premanande, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachidananda Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari ki jai, Radha Raju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hare Govinda Damodara Madhave, Govinda Damodara Madhave, Govinda Damodara Madhave, Govinda Damodara Madhave. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Shyam. So thank you all very much for being with us today, for gracing us with your presence and giving us the opportunity to remember Srila Gurudev, our Guru Varga, and their teachings, their instructions. We look forward to being with you all tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam, Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.